afternoon, and it is afternoon here too, as well as the East Coast.
Well, oh yeah, we started at 12 o'clock.
All right.
Okay.
Just, that's my job as producer, is to make sure we have the correct time.
A lot of agitators in California against Donald Trump.
I know, geez, San Francisco, they're in Seattle too, aren't they?
And they claim to be a very peaceful people in that area, but I don't know. I don't know what they call peaceful in Mexico. But
Well, they're imports. Soros buses them in from all over the country.
oh, really?
Yeah, so you can be in a peaceful town, but if Soros buses in these operatives, you know, it's like what they did in Ferguson. They bus people in from all over.
Oh, Soros bus line?
Yeah, he owns a bus line now. Corruptors.
I don't know.
Disorganized.
But still Donald Trump is ahead.
I think he's 15 points ahead now in Indiana is what one poll is. Clear Politics, I believe, which is usually the
Tomorrow is Indiana primary, right?
Tomorrow's the primary. One poll from some college there has Cruz up like 26 points. That's ridiculous, whatever it is.
But I thought then Carly Fiorina have the control of Indiana. That's why he offered her the vice president.
Well, I don't know about that. I think he was looking down the road to California. She used to be from California.
Oh.
She ran for office in California, but maybe Cruz didn't get the memo that she'd moved to Virginia. So she lives in Virginia.
Oh.
So she's got nothing to do with California anymore.
Oh.
So
people
maybe,
in California probably won't even remember her.
Probably not, and she didn't win anyways when she did run there, so I don't know what benefit she brings. Donald Trump has businesses there. He has at least one golf course that I know of, and a pretty nice one, and he probably has other properties. How'd you like that comment from your buddy Obama that it would be good to have Trump in charge of Guantanamo because he's real good at running oceanfront properties into the ground? I thought that was very accurate statement, huh?
Yeah.
Donald Trump owns top resorts all over the world on the ocean front. So I don't know what he's talking about. As usual, he doesn't know what he's talking about. What a stupid statement.
I hope people realize that on election time, people always going to look at the bad issues. That's why I try to stay away from Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. I don't need to say anything bad about them because every time they open their mouths, they kill themselves. You know, I don't need to do that myself. So I concentrate on telling people. I don't even talk about Ted Cruz that much because I'm hoping that Ted Cruz, after tomorrow, he realized that then Donald Trump is the man that the American people want, and he will, well, actually it's not a jump ship because that's not it's an American expression, but I don't believe it is jumping ship. It's just that he realized and
He's on the Titanic, so what do you want to call it?
I don't know.
Going down with the ship.
What I'm saying is he might be able to take a break on his campaign and let people vote for Donald Trump and make it easy for Donald Trump and for the American people to get the choice, their choice on the presidential candidate. You know, he should, for the best, if he is as an American as he claimed to be, if he is as patriot as he thinks he is, the best thing he can do tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, our time, you know, is to say, okay, America, I'm going to give you the opportunity I'm going to give my vote to Donald Trump, and I hope most of the people that follow me will do the same thing. and end this charade, because Kasich is a non-figure anymore. He's not even though he's in second place, right?
Well, he finished second in 4 out of 5 races in the East Coast.
Yeah.
And Trump finished not Trump, Cruz finished third, like Trump likes to say, and there were only 3 horses in the race.
Yeah.
He finished 3 out of 3.
So if
That's last place.
if he put a stop in his campaign and he turned his votes and his delegates and his followers into Donald Trump, Casey would be done, finished, finito. I think. I'm not an expert on politics, but that's the way I look at it. You know, if, let's do it in kindergarten numbers. If Trump have 100 and Kasich has 30 and Cruz have 20, and he give the 20 to Trump, Trump have 120, and that's it, finish. Isn't that the way it is?
Well, I would think that your buddy Reince Priebus, or whatever his name is going to have a hard time explaining if Donald Trump should get to the magical 1237. How do they explain anything beyond that? That he's the nominee, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as he wins Indiana, I think it's going to be pretty easy to do the math. If he gets, like, I don't know what it is, but maybe 100 out of the 171 votes in California, if he only gets 100 of them, he's won. That doesn't count New Jersey and doesn't count all the other. He's almost at 1,000 now. So if he wins 57 today or tomorrow, he'll be at 1,057. He'll only be 160, 70 away from the 1237.
Yeah.
Maybe not even that. I have to do my math a little better, but I mean, he'll be pretty damn close. You know, it's getting to be just a non-issue, as it should be. And I think to date he's had more votes than Romney's gotten. So he's ahead of Romney, and the thing's not over yet. He's already surpassed the total amount of votes that Romney's got.
Well, I was talking to somebody over the weekend, and he was telling me then he was for Romney. I told him I believe Romney was too wimp for this country.
Well, he disappeared the last 2 weeks of the campaign and running against Obama. He was gonzo.
Yeah, I believe he is not supposed to. I don't know. He never impressed me that much. And I said he got as much money as Donald Trump.
Who does?
Romney. But he said, no, he doesn't have. That guy I was talking to over the weekend, he said, no, he didn't have he didn't have as much money
Donald
as
Trump has said, remember, that one store that Donald Trump owns, one store in New York is worth more than Romney. He owns a jewelry store or something in New York.
Who, Romney?
No,
Trump.
And it's worth more. It's worth like $400 million, or one store that he owns.
So one jewelry store?
One jewelry store in New York.
What did they sell there?
Jewelry.
Diamonds?
Yeah, I would say, for sure.
Wow.
But one store is worth more than Romney. That's a pretty good statistic. I mean, geez, you know.
I told him, I said, we need somebody like Trump right now that can put the country back online, because we are dead. We are completely gone, and we need somebody that they can and as long as these people in California are still waving the Mexican flag, they're not doing anything good for the country, because why the Mexican have to wave the Mexican flag? Are they gonna vote for a Mexican candidate? Are they gonna vote for Peña Nieto? You know, it doesn't make any sense to me why you have to use another country flag to prove a point. And they have that habit. Remember when there was a parade over here in Las Vegas Boulevard? They wanted they got the Mexican flag in front. Why? You want to be an American? You want to be a Mexican? You're already a Mexican. So what is your problem? What do you want? You know, it doesn't make any sense to me. See, I live here. I want this country to be good because it's good for me, it's good for my people, it's good for everybody. I don't want it to be waving the Cuban flag or anything like that because it's stupid to do that, you know, and they have the habit to do that all the time. They have to show the Mexicanize on them, you know, and that is not what we want in this country. We want to be Americans. We want to be human beings. We want to be normal people running for normal offices and being a normal country. You know, you don't see people over there in Mexico waving the American flag. They're not allowed to wave the Mexican flag in Mexico. You know?
No, you wouldn't get too far, would you?
You won't go too far.
No.
So why don't we exercise, why don't we not implement, not exercise, why don't we implement the laws like they have it in Mexico? That will be the normal thing to do so they can feel at home. You know, people that are not born in here, people that are not here legally, they cannot own business. People that are not born here, people that are not here legal, cannot send the kids to school. People that are not here legally cannot take anybody to the doctors, to the emergency room. Well, maybe the emergency room, yes, because it's an emergency. But I don't think they can do that in Mexico either.
I don't know about emergency rooms in Mexico. Maybe they have some sort of reciprocal human policy down there where they don't let you die in the street. You know, if you're a tourist down there or something happens to you, get in an accident, huh?
Are they really human?
I don't know. It depends on whether they're a drug dealer or not, I guess.
Yeah, you know.
But at any rate,
I was reading something a few weeks ago. El Chapo Guzman, that famous drug dealer, did more for his area, for his city, for his the area where he is, more for those people than the government ever done for them.
Like John Gotti?
Yeah, like John Gotti. John Gotti, I tell you, I have the pleasure of meeting him. I was not friends with him. I'm not claimed to be knowledgeable of how, but I saw him correcting kids that were skipping school, and I never forget that. You know, he scolded those kids. They go back to school. What are you doing here? You have to learn. You have to be smart. It's the only way you're going to be somebody someday, you know. And they listen to him. You know, I never saw him doing anything wrong, nothing wrong, you know. And El Chapo Guzman, according to the Mexicans newspaper and Mexican people that happen to know him, they said that he have done more for the whatever they call the city or the state or the county or whatever where they live than the government ever done. He built schools, he built hospitals, he built, you know.
Where his town is, whatever you're referring to in Mexico, where he may have been hiding out when he tunneled his way out.
But they didn't let him, they didn't let the government go there.
No, that's right, because, well, understandable, That whole town was built by him. It's a nice town from what everybody, says.
What is it,
has all-
Sinaloa, right?
Something like
I
that.
don't know, I don't remember.
But, he's built the whole place and they're his people and good luck going there, trying to find him,
I would love to interview that guy. I really would
Well,
love to
You
interview
gotta
him.
become a rock star
Yeah,
or something
probably.
before you do that, so you might wanna get started. You might wanna go to the stage tonight and sing a song somewhere. Maybe then he'll respond to you.
You think with 1 or 2 nights in the stage,
Probably,
I can be,
yeah, with you,
I
the
become
way
a
you
rock star?
sing, the way you sing,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, wait a minute, I'm not a singer. No, I don't sing, I don't snitch. No. No. I hate snitches.
Well.
I do hate the snitches. Everybody become a concerned citizen when it's convenient for them. Everybody do that. I got in trouble for not being a singer, When Metro want me to snitch on Steve Wynn, I don't know the guy, how can I snitch? Well, you can fabricate, you can do something. I said, you mean lying? Well, call it whatever you want. We want something on Steve Wynn. No, find somebody else. Well, I pay the consequence for not being a snitch, And now the guy is selling marijuana.
Well,
Yeah.
you were before your time.
Yeah.
You've always been leading the pack.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
You've just been proven this last week that you were right again, and the Supreme Court is finally listening to you.
Oh, you know about that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, the Supreme Court sided with me, with Las Vegas Tribune, saying that the people that have property in northern states cannot be taken away by the Nevada court.
Yeah, very
You
simple.
Very
And
simple.
then you have the Nevada Supreme Court weighing in just the other day, and the appellate court, the brand new 3-judge court that's supposed to take a lot of the burden off the shoulders of the Supreme Court, ruled exactly opposite in Feely versus Feely. How do you explain that? There's one set of laws in this country. Every state has to follow the same set of laws. And the appellate court ruled opposite to what the Nevada Supreme Court.
What do you mean
just
it's one set of law?
There's what the United States Supreme Court, when they weigh in and they establish a binding precedent, that's controlling to all lower courts. Every state, every lower court, all state Supreme Courts have to abide by a United States Supreme Court decision.
That's in a normal country, not in Las
this is
Vegas.
Nevada, country of Nevada.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's not in Nevada.
Well,
Over
how
here,
how
the
come the
Supreme
Nevada
Court,
highest court says it?
the Supreme Court has one say, the appellate court have another say, and normally it is allied with the district court or justice
In
court.
the same state?
In the same state,
You
yeah.
can have different rulings from the.
Oh yeah, depending who's in front of them, or depending who's the lawyer, who's the attorney.
Depending on whether the lawyers need to rip off money or not. Get
Right,
robbed, I see.
right.
So it comes down to who's the robber.
Yeah.
Who's the
And
robbie?
then they, if you say something, they call you anti-government, anti-police, anti-everything. In the meantime, they're around the city, they has a bench warrant for a $3,600 bound check that she gave to the landlord, and it took the landlord almost 2 years to evict her because she transferred the eviction from justice court to district court. I never seen, and even you hear my call this morning to the court. I never hear the district court listen to unless the person appeal. But who's going to appeal an eviction notice? You pay or you don't pay. You got proof, but she gave a false deposit slip. fake.
So that's submitting fraudulent documents to the court then?
Well, depending who is doing it. If
Oh,
it's somebody with
some-
poor,
Somebody,
somebody
people-
can, somebody can't.
like, let's say a judge signs a fraudulent order. That is
Yeah.
not fraud if a judge does it?
No, some judges can do that, some judges
Oh,
can't.
even though it's a completely false fact?
Look at that poor guy, an attorney, that he got a $15,000.
Yeah.
I think I wrote about this week. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I read so much and I write so much, I forget what I wrote.
Well, I guess the point is a $15,000 issue where a lawyer got a payment from a client. The client took off rather than stick around in the country of Nevada.
So
They
the
decided it might be better to move to a different country.
lawyer
They kept the money.
kept the money, and now the FBI is trying to tell him that he should return the money. Where do I gonna return the money?
Wow.
The guy left. What about the time and the hours that I put in? You know, some
Research.
research. Yeah.
How do you prove research? It's kind of like Obama. We saved jobs. You know, when he was doing all the...
He resaved.
No, he saved jobs,
Oh.
remember?
Oh,
He couldn't prove that he had created any jobs, so they made a new word.
for him.
They saved jobs. It's kind of like when they had Obamacare, and then Nancy Pelosi didn't like that name anymore, so she changed it to the Affordable Care Act. They play the games with the words.
Of course,
So,
that's part of the
right.
hustling part of this country.
Well, I can't wait to see how the Nevada Supreme Court weighs in now on this prior appellate court ruling that's completely in opposite to the ruling they just made. Now, the Supreme Court in this country of Nevada is still the highest court in the country of Nevada, is it not? The appellate court's not higher than them, right? You're on the air, Radio Tribune.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Celine. I'm calling from Paul H. Gantwine Company. May I speak to your accounts receivable department, please?
This is a radio show. Do you want to speak to the listeners?
No.
Well, you called a radio show.
But
so-
then hang up. What she was calling
I
for?
don't know. I had no idea.
Account receivables.
Yeah, that's who she wanted.
Oh, well, lucky for us.
Maybe they're trying to send money. Maybe we should have stayed on the line a little longer.
Oh yeah, we received money,
We
right?
received it, yeah. So maybe they're trying to give us a donation to go after the Supreme Court of Nevada, in the state of Nevada, in the country of Nevada. I'm sorry, we're not a state according to the Lara's rule of law.
I got the rule of law. I got a phone call in my California telephone number, and they was looking for Robert Goulet, collecting money from Robert Goulet, and I told him, I said, I have this number for almost 2 years now, and I don't know any Robert Goulet except the singer, so please don't call back anymore. And they keep calling for Robert Goulet.
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand why they don't why don't they check that, you know. But we are going to go back to Las Vegas. We are going to talk about the campaign. You know, I was looking at this guy that we have in the show a few weeks ago, running for U.S. Senate. I was reading about him. He is a Bernie Sanders fan. I didn't realize that guy, how can anybody can be from for Bernie Sanders.
Well, when the choice is Hillary or Bernie, you know, you can almost understand it. Because Hillary's so despicable. She's a felon that's not serving time yet, but should be. I mean, you know, and what Bernie's saying, he's not really lying. He's saying what he is. He's not hiding the fact that he's a communist.
Yeah.
So he's more honest than Hillary. So I can understand when you have only those two choices, Hillary, Bernie, I can see how people could say, you know what?
And you know,
I just can't support Hillary.
here we go back again to national news, to national politics, but it has to be done. What is we heard now is yelling at people all the time. Can she talk like a lady? Can she talk like a normal person to the people that listen? Those microphones can give her voice, you know, but she yell and scream and why?
She screeches.
What, she thinks she's talking to Bill? Well, she would not
Probably.
talk to Bill like that. She would not talk to Bill like
I
that.
don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think otherwise she would have done that after the Monica Lewinsky's affair, you know. But maybe she got tired after all the Jones and the other one and the other one. You know, he's been doing the same thing since he was a governor, or probably since he was a lawyer. You know, he's a lawyer, right?
Well, he was a lawyer. He was disbarred, remember? He lost his law license when he was
A president?
when he was impeached. There was a case, I think, that came after that, and him lying and committing perjury on TV. I did not have sex with that woman, you know, that's lying, right? Or he was relying on the fact that oral sex is not sex.
Right.
Something, but anyways, they disbarred him, so he lost his license. And then I think he had the opportunity, because lawyers are the ones that make the rules, so even if you've been disbarred for cause, you get to reapply for your license again after a certain time, because, you know, they're good old boys, so.
Or you go
You
to
can't-
another state.
Well,
Like
yeah,
doctors
that
do.
happens too, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or you go to another state. I think he
Yeah.
was an attorney in Arkansas.
Right,
And
Yeah.
now he probably is an attorney in Washington, D.C.
I don't know.
You
If he
know.
passes the bar somewheres, I guess he would be an attorney.
I
But-
wonder how many attorneys can pass the bar after X amount of years.
Well, they probably have to, from what I hear, it's not that easy of a test to pass, of course. It depends on your qualifications, I guess, but your IQ, if you will, but didn't they have that show, that movie with Caprio, where he was forging checks and this and that, and he had become in his career as a check forger, he was a doctor, he was a lawyer, and he passed the bar and never went to law school in that movie. I mean, but
Yeah.
that's supposed to be a real story about a guy that really did all that stuff.
Well, I know a guy that went to jail. He went to prison for impersonating an attorney, a doctor.
Yep.
He
There's a
come
lot of
out.
those out there.
He come out from prison and he became an attorney. He never have a license. He never went to school, and I think he's still practicing law.
I don't know what the law is. If you pass the bar,
No, this guy never passed the bar.
well, then you're not an attorney.
That's right.
You have to pass the bar. Well, my point is,
Oh, no, you don't have to pass the bar. I don't believe so.
to practice law, you
Oh,
do.
to practice law,
Right,
yes.
right.
But to become an attorney, all you
No,
gotta
now,
do.
if you haven't even been educated as an attorney, you don't have a degree or anything, can you go and pass the bar and be a practicing attorney? I think you can.
Yeah. But not in Nevada.
No, the country
This-
of Nevada, you
no.
can't be.
No, I was told that
You have to
the
be,
bar exam in this state is very, very strong.
but don't
I
you
don't know.
qualify as an ex-felon?
I don't
You
know.
bypassed a step?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know, but I was told that the bar in this state is very difficult
Well, how
to
come
pass.
nobody knows the law then?
Very, very difficult. Very few people pass the bar the first time.
I wonder what the questions are. They can't have anything to do with law,
No,
because nobody
Probably
knows it.
not.
Yeah, nobody knows the law, not even the
Probably.
judges. Not even the courts, not even the appeal courts. You got 3 judges on the appeal court and they don't know a standard basic law, that you can't control property in another state. Who doesn't know that? I've never been a lawyer. I knew that right from the get-go. I kept telling the judge, you can't do this, you can't do this. Well, I understand that I have to rule by New Hampshire law. Okay, well, he didn't rule by New Hampshire law or any law. He never said he was gonna rule by no law, although when I asked him, he asked me whether he should rule by equity or law. I said rule by law, and he told me I was making a big mistake. So you ask a Nevada judge, the country of Nevada judge, to rule by the law, and you're making a big mistake. So maybe we need to publish a story, big mistakes ruling by law. Don't ask any judge to rule by law. You piss them off and then you become the antagonist. I'm classified as an antagonist because I asked a judge to rule by law.
oh,
So that makes me an antagonist.
yeah, that was a different judge. That was not Earl, that was Kephart.
Well, Gephardt called me an antagonist because Earl called me an antagonist in the
Oh,
judgment.
Oh, Earl
He
started.
referred to me as
And
the
that's
antagonist.
what I was trying to tell you.
Right.
I believe Bill Kephart is just protecting Earl.
Well, there's no doubt about it. The appellate court's protecting him, because how can the appellate court rule against a long-standing principle since this country was founded? You can't control one state can't control another state's property. That's very simple. It can't be done. The judge doesn't know that. He knew that, but he wanted to pay the lawyers. And he couldn't pay the lawyers if he followed the law. So the law didn't matter. And then to top everything off on that issue, I was protecting the money with a cashier's check, so he just says the cashier's check's lost. So the bank sends him another check, because he said it was lost.
But how can, this is one thing I'd like to see if I can comprehend in my little English that I know. How can the bank issue a different cashier check to a different person who purchased that first cashier check? Assuming that the cashier check was lost, doesn't he have to make the cashier check to the original name in the cashier check?
When the check surfaces, because it was never lost.
I'm asking you a question now.
Okay, let me.
If the check was in fact lost,
Oh, okay. All right.
the bank is not supposed to write another cashier check under the same name that was the prior cashier check?
Well, if the check was in the name of a real estate trust,
Uh-huh.
which it was, they
Uh-huh.
wrote the second check in the same name, I believe. I've never seen the second check, but I assume it was written the same way.
So how can anybody use that money?
Well, they can't, because there's the only person that's a legitimate trustee of that trust is me. So they can't. The illegal court, Earl, without jurisdiction, appointed one of his buddies as trustee.
You don't understand.
Oh, okay.
They made the check, the second cashier check, under the trust, right?
Right.
Okay.
But they had to have an affidavit signed and sworn to. And the
But they
first,
have to make the cashier check under the same name that it was the
well,
first.
I would assume that,
The
yeah.
trust.
Yeah.
So
I would
how can
assume.
they catch it? They have no authorization to catch
No.
a trust check. Nobody really have the
The
authorization.
the judge issues an order that this trustee that he appointed wrote the checks. He deposited the money in the bank and he wrote checks on that amount that was deposited in the bank. So it's all illegal. Everything's illegal. So that's illegally obtained money by false pretenses. So now all that money eventually is going to have to go back to where it came from. And that would be, I guess, the bank in New Hampshire. It's not money that I want to touch, that's for sure, because if you do anything with that money, you're violating a US code. And it's a Class A felony, punishable up to 30 years in jail and $1 million fine. So I don't think you want to touch
And
any
you
of that
can
money.
get that $1 million fine, you can get it from the cashier check?
No, I wish I could. Because I could get it against Earl, I could get it against Gephardt, I could get it against Reutemann, I could get it against all the other lawyers, I could get it against Thorman. So you add it up, $1 million each, I could get maybe 10 million bucks.
You cannot get away from the 30 years in prison, but you can pay the $1 million fine with a cashier check, right?
Oh, I could one time, yeah. But I didn't do anything.
No, I'm saying whoever
Oh,
is found guilty of that.
well, they can't use any of that money because it's illegal money. The example I like to put, let's say you're Judge Gephardt and you have a bank robber before you in court that actually robbed the bank. His hands are all red. You know how the dye bags burst? So his hands are all red. They have him there in court. He pleads guilty, right? So the Judge Gephardt sentences him, and then the lawyer, the robber's lawyer says, excuse me, I have these legal fees that I would like to present to the court to be paid. With me, my representation of this client here. And Gephardt says, oh, okay, well, let's see. Your client, he's going to jail. Do you have any money, sir? No, I don't have any money. They took all the money I robbed from the bank. They took it back. Oh, the bank took the money back? Oh, so the bank has the money. Oh, okay. So Gephardt rules that the bank has to pay the bank robber's legal fees. It's the same thing. There's no difference. The innocent bank, in this case innocent, not in my case, but in this case, the innocent bank that got robbed, the victim would have to pay the robber's legal fees, according to Gephardt law. Because you have to understand something, Mr. Laraz, all lawyers must be paid. That was a lecture I got from Gephardt, July 21st of 2015. In front of him on his bench, that's what he had to lecture me. All lawyers need to be paid. So I said, excuse me, I came by 3 lawyers sitting out on a bench in the hallway, should I go get them? They don't have anything to do with this case, but apparently it doesn't matter, because the lawyer over here doesn't have anything to do with the case.
And what did he say when you said
that?
Did you tell him that?
Yeah. He said, doesn't matter, I'm gonna award the legal fees anyways. So you don't want me to go get the 3? No, that won't be necessary. He said, that won't be necessary. I have plenty of lawyers right here that I can pay. Oh, okay.
Oh, boy.
Well, I mean, it gets to the point, you know what it gets to? It gets to silliness. Because this is absolutely silly. None of this makes any sense.
And but you know what is even sadder than that? You know what it is criminal than that? Is the way the defense attorneys act. Well, he wear the robe. Oh, so why don't you go the next time, go to the court, wear a robe? And then people can listen to you. Is the judge always win?
Well, in the country of Nevada, well, thus far, but they don't always win. Because we had a judge here in another case we just found that the Supreme Court ruled on. Judge Hernandez got overruled because he tried to give away property in California, and guess what? The property wasn't in Nevada. So he couldn't give away the property. Uh-oh, what happened?
So now they send the case back?
It was been vacated, it's been voided out, because when you make a ruling and it's not legal, it's void. It might as well be toilet paper. At least you can use that for something. But a ruling that's void is void. And I'm reading the conclusion of a filing to the court, to the Supreme Court, that they just ruled on. I'm reading the filing that resulted in the ruling. And the conclusion is the district court has clearly transcended its mandatory and universally recognized jurisdictional limitation. There is no factual dispute that the 22 pieces of real property are located outside the boundaries of the state of Nevada. In my case, there is no factual dispute that the property at issue was located in New Hampshire. There's no factual dispute about that. So it's silly. It's ridiculous. It's absurd, and I've been saying this for 7 years, and you've been writing stories about it for 9 months. Or I think Alexander Cohen started writing the story back in
Yeah.
August.
And
And the very first story she wrote, I mentioned to her about subject matter jurisdiction was the issue.
And I
And
said-
in the second story that she published, the headline was that the judge does not have subject matter, does not have jurisdiction.
Yeah, and I think Natasha Minsky also wrote a couple of those.
Yeah, she interviewed me. I gave her the facts, and I've been saying the exact same thing about subject matter jurisdiction for 9 months to the newspaper, and saying it on this radio show. And now the Supreme Court of Nevada has weighed in, and lo and behold, they have 100% agreed with that theory, that point of law. Well, if they agreed with it on that case, and the whole case boils down to where was the property located, it's the same as my case. So the appellate court was wrong. And what the appellate court was doing, if you read their ruling or their decision, was they were protecting the judge. They did not want to rule against the judge, because that judge is jailable by what he did. He couldn't rule that way by law, because it's against the trust law.
What do you mean yellow?
Jail.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm
Right.
sorry, my English is.
So he ruled wrong by law, and he swore in an order that a check was lost or wasn't lost. So that's fraud.
You know, it took the daily paper 5 days after we published that John Smith have left the building.
News travels slow over there, what can I say?
Very, very slow.
Yeah.
5 days. Tuesday, we put it out on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then on Sunday, they announced somebody else, I don't know where he came from, that is taking John Smith's place because John Smith is no longer over there. You know, they have Frederick, Chairman Frederick, they have Tom Mitchell, now John Smith. I don't know if Glenn Cook is still there or not, but Vince, I can't pronounce his last name, it sounds like a bad word to me. I don't see him writing anymore either. Who do they have? All people from out of town are writing in the Las Vegas Review-Journal, you know.
I don't know, news travels slow,
I
like you said.
think John Smith, and you know, I don't commend him too many times. I don't believe I agree with him so many times, but I think he needs to be commended for what he did. If he cannot write what he feels, if he cannot put his own point of view, if he cannot give his own ideas out to the public, what he got to do? Go over there in the morning and say, okay, what do you want me to write today, Mr. Editor?
Well, he could stop by the Sands on the way into work, couldn't he, or the Venetian, whatever it's called now. Couldn't he just stop in there on the way to the Review-Journal?
No, that would be the editor's job. He had to. He got to go over there and ask Mr. Anderson. You know, I tell you, I think I was wrong. I thought Anderson will make that paper a little bit better, but it's the same thing. You
Used
know,
to be, yeah.
they should have sold the paper to Donald Trump. It might have been better.
I don't know what they met about during that debate, just before the first debate in Las Vegas that was at the Venetian, they had a meeting.
If I was
I don't know what
going
they
to stop anybody that say something about me or write something about me, gee, I would not have any columnist. Everybody has a bad expression, a wrong thing to say about me, you know. In my opinion, it's wrong. In their opinion, it's right. And I allow them to do that, you know. I think it's stupid to do it, but because when you don't allow people to express it, but when you do talk, you want to be Mr. Tough Guy and write about the guy who give you the opportunity to express your ideas about something else, is wrong. It doesn't make any sense, but, it's like, I don't know, I believe in loyalty. That's a word that the people in the country of Las Vegas do not know too well. I believe if I have the opportunity, and I have told that to people that have gone through the same experience, and I think that's why I commend what he did. If you don't agree with the guy who's giving you the paycheck, quit, and he did. He quit. It's not wrong. I told that when I was at the Golden Nugget. I told one of the employees over there, I said, well, if you're so unhappy, why don't you quit? Leave. Oh no, I make too much money. Oh, so then shut up.
Follow the money.
That's right. Then shut up.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is. If you don't like what your boss is doing, quit. If you think he's wrong, try to get his job and see how you're going to do it. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. So Thursday, this coming Thursday, that will be what? 3, 4, the 5th, right? The 5th of...
The 3rd is Tuesday because of the election in Indiana. I know that day.
Yeah, so 4 is
Wednesday.
The 5th
would be
is Ed Williams, the former Clark County
right.
chairman. The Clark County Party chairman is going to be here on this show.
Face the Tribune.
Yeah, and maybe we can get some idea what's going on over there. I hope.
Shake up.
I hope that he will speak up, because I think.
Well, he must be going to. Why would he be coming?
Well, because right now he's also working for Crescent Hardy, the congressman.
Oh.
And he might want to tell people how good Crescent Hardy is. I don't know how good Crescent Hardy is. The only thing that I like about Crescent Hardy is that he gave me a big award saying how good I am at my job. So
he bribed you?
He did?
With a plaque?
No, I said that's the only thing I find good. I don't see anything else that he's done.
Oh.
Because first of all, the people that he got there before Ed Williams was there never took the time to do that. Remember, we got one of the guys over here, and he wasn't really telling too much about Crescent Hardy, so I don't know.
Well, we'll find out Thursday.
Yeah, we find out Thursday. And then on the 24th, Chief Judge Joe Bonaventure is going to be here.
Justice Court.
Yeah.
Judge.
Yeah, Chief Judge, Justice Court. Yeah, because
we already had the Chief Judge from District Court, Barker.
Yeah, and he was here, and
we need to get the 3 justices in here from the appellate court. Maybe they can explain to us how the country of Nevada can rule one way on the appellate court and another way on the Supreme Court. I'd like to have an answer for that. Or do I have to just ask
the
Supreme
Court? I tell you the truth, I think what they did, what the Supreme Court did, is a slap in the face to the appellate court.
Well, they're upholding the law, if you wanna call that slapping someone in the face.
Well, because the other people didn't uphold the law.
Well, they're not doing their job, or they
Right.
don't know the job,
That's
or
what I
probably
mean.
more applicable, they're covering up for one of their fellow judges,
Yeah, that's true.
who's now retired, you know, and I think he's suffering from a few mental deficiencies, and I mean that honestly. I think he has dementia, maybe Alzheimer's, I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it, because I get reports from other people that knew him and knew his condition, if you will, in the latter part of his term, and he was transferring cases because, in their opinion, he wasn't qualified to hear them.
I don't think that's the case. I think he chose to retire because he knew that sooner or later he's going to be in trouble for what he did with the Philly versus Phillies case. I believe that's the problem with Judge Earl. You know, every time I talk to somebody, they have a higher opinion of him, but maybe they never practice in front of him in his courtroom, because for what I've been reading in the last 9 months, he's not a good judge at all. You know?
He had a good reputation when he was handling construction defect cases. That was what he
that
did.
could be, yeah, that
And when
could
they were
be.
building these big hotels, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
there's an argument. There's a
Yeah.
fight between the contractor and the owner
Yeah.
about who's gonna pay who what. Okay?
Yeah.
They all end up in court because there's millions and millions of dollars involved.
Yeah.
What's that equate to? That equates to legal fees. So Judge Earl is used to paying all the lawyers. That's all he knows.
So they love that.
Yes, they have millions of dollars to work with. You take the city center, that was a $10 billion project, right?
I knew a guy that was suing the city.
Most contractors, they have a 10% holdback. What's 10% of 10 billion? 1 billion. So at the end of the day, you have the contractors fighting with the owners of the hotel over that $1 billion. Now, you think that doesn't get a few lawyers excited and out of the closet to go
It's just
represent
a lousy
somebody?
$1 billion.
That's it.
You know,
It doesn't go as far as it used to
lousy
go.
10%.
It doesn't go very far in government anymore, that's for sure.
No more. But anyway, we got to the end of Face the Tribune. We thank you for listening, and we hope that you will listen tomorrow again, because I'd like to make you realize then what is going on in our city, in our state. And that's all we can do right now. Thank you for listening. God bless you. God bless America. God bless our troops.
Okay, this is Clark signing off too, from the country of Nevada. Jeez. How about all these movie stars and celebrities that are gonna move out of town if Trump gets elected? Can they move to Nevada, because it's another country?
Yeah,
Oh,
probably. And they're gonna realize that over here, they don't care who you are. They take your money no matter what. No matter what.
well, they take your mining claims.